The plants have all been moved inside, save for Noor, the saloon, and the hanging plants and a few other little stragglers. I want them to stay outside until we have another day of sunshine so that some of the wet soil from all this rain we've had will dry a little bit. On that note, I'm glad that I got all of the plants moved in already because of how much rain we've had the last few days. It was really a relief not to have to worry about maintaining, checking, dealing with all the wet soil. So anyway, I thought I would do another houseplant tour. This is the main area where the plants are, our living room. And then some of them are in the front living room. But let's start in here. So on top of the cabinet, I have two micans. These were both plants that I started from cuttings. One of them I'm going to let trail. And the other one I put up on a pole. And I'm loving how big the leaves are growing on the pole. It's almost ready for an extension. And then here we have two other plants that I started from cuttings. I don't remember what they are, Silvery Ann or Silver Satin. I think this one's a Silver Satin. This one's a Silver Stripe. Honestly, I really don't see a difference between the two. This cabinet is mostly propagations and Hoya. So got some of my Hoya up on trellises. They all did really well this summer, except for this AH074, which I've had, I don't know, maybe since January. It hasn't done anything. This one was started from like a 2-leaf cutting. It's done well. String of hearts, variegated string of hearts. That's a string of turtles. This was my really big peperomia raindrop plant that got so big I didn't really have room for it anymore. So I chopped it. This is the top cutting. And then I have another cutting here. 2 more pieces of it here. And then you can't see, but in a prop box I have like 9 or 10 pieces of the stem that I cut that are already starting to grow. I'll do a separate video of prop box things. Rugosum philodendron, which has a new leaf that's going to come in soon. I took a top cutting of my subhestatum. Look at how beautiful the underside of the leaf is. This little Hoya Shepardii started as a small, maybe 2-leaf cutting. And again, I had it for almost a year and it didn't do anything, but this summer it took off. It was finally well rooted. So that's it for the cabinet. This Ernestii has a new leaf coming. This was started from a 1-leaf cutting that my friend Anna gifted me last September of 21. And now it has 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves and 1 on the way. This is a, what is it? It's a Philodendron ecuadoriense, which was also started from a 1-leaf cutting that was gifted to me by Chandra. This little lime fiddle I got from Brian in January. It was very slow to do anything. And then in the spring, it finally started taking off. I put it outside and totally burned it. It was a little baby and it just couldn't handle it. So it's been rehabbing ever since. Just one of the slowest things that I've dealt with. A Syngonium albo, which again started as a 2-leaf cutting, I believe, and now we have 5 leaves. My Philodendron Birkin. This is one of the first plants I got last spring when I started with houseplants. I would say it's doubled in size, and it's one of my favorite plants. I have this Anthurium corallinum, which I'm not sure why it doesn't get more love from plant people. It's a lot like the Veitchii in terms of shape and feel, thickness of the leaf. It doesn't have these ribbed abs like the Veitchii, but it's a stunner. This is an Anthurium Black Dragon variegated. I haven't seen any variegation yet, but we'll see what happens as it gets bigger. This was a teeny tiny seedling when I got it. I mean, like, you could have blown on it and the leaves would come off. And so it's doing pretty well. Veitchii, which has this new leaf that emerged recently. Down here we have, I have to look at the tag, an Enjoy pothos that I started from cuttings. Monstera leclerliana variegata. This has been a slow one too. I got this as a 1-leaf cutting in December, I think. It was very slow to get started, as was this variegated Adansonii, but they both finally seem to be rooted and are a little more active. I wouldn't say they've gotten to be fast growing by any means, but they're moving a little better. Here's another pothos, which is an Enjoy. Is that what this other one was? Yeah, another Enjoy. I get them confused with Pearls and Jade, which is why I had to check. An Exotica, Scindapsus exotica. This little Dieffenbachia tiki I got, I think last fall as a little plug. So it hasn't grown super fast, since having it since like October, but it's really lovely. Silver Sword has a new leaf coming in. So when I brought the plants in, everything got repotted either into fresh soil, my chunky aroid substrate, or pon, which I just started trying. So in the pon is an Anthurium doriaki, which I bought from Brian. It's so beautiful. This plant brings me a lot of joy. An Anthurium decurrens, which was part of my first import order. Had a lot of rehabbing to do, but it's kind of starting to come into its own. This is a Philodendron elegans, which was also part of the import order. Has a new leaf that's just going to pop probably tonight or in the morning. This is a top cutting that I took from the main plant, and I have another piece of it somewhere else. This is an Anthurium timplowmanii. Politiforum. This was another one from the import order that was a little slow in getting started, but it's doing a lot better. Crystallinum. This is a Bessay AFF, Bessay AF from the import order. It was in really bad shape when it came in, so I chopped it up. This is from the top, and then I put this chunk and this chunk in prop boxes, and you can see what they've done. Anthurium warqueanum esmeralda. And her big leaf, I'm not going to turn it around. Another veitchii. A piece of Lanamii. So the Lanamii, which is right here, was one of the plants from the import order. And it was the plant I was least in love with when it arrived. And now it's one of my absolute favorites in my whole collection. It's working on a new leaf. And then this I grew from a chunk from the base that I took. That's pretty exciting. An Anthurium luxurians. Philodendron splendid that's starting to size up a little bit since went on a pole. This is an Anthurium forgetii crossed with a crystal red. Again, this one did nothing for a long, long time. It's still not really doing much. Little Aglaonema lucky red that I got as a small plug when I got the Dieffenbachia tiki. Another little guy from the import order. This is an Anthurium frederiksdalii, which, like the lime fiddle, was finally starting to do well, and I put it outside and burned it. So I chopped, I don't remember, I think I just chopped this little piece off the chunk, and that's what I have now. Philodendron El Chaco red, pretty juvenile version, but look at the back of that leaf. While we're over here, this is the Goldii. I mean, I just love the way these leaves sort of do a curve around. It also has a new leaf coming in. This is absolutely one of my favorites from the import order. This is an Anthurium cuticuense. I wouldn't say it's thrived, but it did put out this new leaf since it arrived while it was in my care. I'm happy about that. It's a little slow growing, but it's worth it. I love it so. I also love my tortums. This is a small one that I bought as a 2-leaf cutting last winter. Finally rooted well and is taking off. This is a larger tortum that I got from Equigenera over the summer. This Monstera adansonii is one that I started from a 1-leaf cutting that was gifted to me from Vanessa. I absolutely love this Monstera Peru. I purchased this from Sarah. I have maybe 6 pieces of it in a prop box rooting, and once they're rooted I will pot them up in here to help fill out the plant. A little calathea that I purchased on Etsy last fall that has been very, very slow oh my gosh, painfully slow, really to the point of I've thought about pitching it a few times. But I just can't do that, especially when it's the few leaves that it does give me are so beautiful. Well, this one is a silver striped philodendron that I did from cuttings. This one is a Brazil that I did from cuttings. A regular heartleaf philodendron from cuttings, as well as this one. Kind of went crazy with cuttings for a while. This was my car plant. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but it was like, you know, this small when I got it for the car last year, and it's really filled in. I don't remember the name of this succulent, but it's one that I've enjoyed. It's got a lot of pups on the side. This one, again, I don't remember the name, and I don't think the tag, I don't see a tag. A Cebu blue that I started from cuttings. A global green that started from one small cutting that I got from someone. I don't remember from who. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, of course I can't think of the name of it because I'm filming. But she's living her best life. She's about doubled in size since I got her. Two more pothos that I started from cuttings, and let me see what they are. Marble Queen, I think. Yes, Marble Queen. And then up here, a Anthurium nigrolanum. Anyway, it's also called Gigi, which is much easier to say. This one is from the import, for my second import order. I'd still consider it in the rehab phase. Tyresa, the Tahiti. This is a top cutting I took from her. This is my other Warquianum. Boy, does it drive me crazy when I can't think of names just because I'm feeling Verrucosum. This Verrucosum started as a 1 or 2 leaf cutting, and it's stunning. And it's doing well. It likes being on a moss pole. Philodendron esmeraldens narrow. Not doing a whole lot, but has a new leaf coming in, which is exciting. I still can't think. Oh, Dracaena. Thank goodness. Dracaena marginata. And then this is Peperomia variegated. It just says variegated Peperomia. I don't remember the exact name of it. This is sort of like my Calathea corner. This is the Stromanthe triostar. This one is a Calathea Freddy. This one, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, it just says rattlesnake Calathea. It actually has another name, but that's its common name. I love it. I love all 3 of these Calathea. And then over to the front living room area, Monstera latruliana green form that I purchased as a 1 leaf cutting. It was, I believe, just this leaf. And it's grown really well, really quickly. It likes being on a pole. I'm going to chop it here, take a top cutting, and grow a new plant. And then here's another Adansonii. Then in the front cabinet, Manjula cuttings. You know what? I'm not going to go through all of them. A little Bilietii, Melanochrysum. This ring of fire I got as a little teeny tiny baby, I don't know, late spring, early summer. And it has grown. I mean, it's blown me away how quickly it established and has grown. Scindapsus trebui moonlight. This used to be a fuller plant, but last winter it got too much water. This summer it got too much sun. So I saved the piece of it that I thought would make it. And it has a new leaf coming in. Peperomia that I got from Equigenera. Monstera albo, which just gave me a half moon leaf. Pink princess. White princess with a new leaf coming in. Another Melanochrysum. That leaf got some damage in the prop box. This I have no idea. It was in my prop box and I don't remember. This is one of my 2 Pallidiflorums that I purchased in February as little itty bitty seedlings, like about that size, but the leaves were much smaller. And that's it now. Another silver pothos that I grew from cuttings. Another piece of Tahiti. Philodendron Rio. White spiral ginger. Another Rio. A Soderoy. This started as a 1-leaf cutting not long ago, just a few months ago. It has grown 3 leaves in my care and has another emerging. A Brazil from cuttings. Here are the other Monstera Peru pieces that I mentioned that I have in the prop box. They are very, very slow to root, so who knows how long it'll take. Little Burl Marks Fantasy that's been a struggle. Here are my main prop boxes. Hoya Carrii variegated. Another Crimson Queen. This is cool. My Dune Edule, which has a new leaf coming in. Steve's Orchids. I'm rehabbing. My beloved Rhaphidophora decursiva. This started out as, I want to say, these 3 leaves, maybe just 2, I don't remember. And look at it. Another orchid that we're rehabbing. A white wizard that's lost most of its color. I'm not really loving it, but I'm going to hold on to it and see what happens. I have 2 Paraiso Verde, both cuttings from Anna. And I can never say this, Camposportoanum. Hey, I got it, which I put on a trellis. I thought it would be fun. This produces like crazy. It has 2 new leaves coming in right now, and next week it'll have 2 more. Christmas aloe. Now we're in the bedroom. I have a Philodendron Ploumannii, which was purchased as this 1-leaf cutting in May. And it's given me these 2 leaves. And then a Philodendron mame. This is the original leaf. And it's given me these 2 leaves. My dark Ficus burgundy, Ficus elastica burgundy. A Pilea peperomoides. This is the top cutting of the Elgins. I just put it on a pole today. An Aglaomena Maria. A little Peperomia Rosso. Some more Cebu blue cuttings. And Maria, what is it? Not Aglaomena. It'll come to me. Syngonium Maria, that's what that was. This is a chocolate anthurium that I love. It's simple but elegant and beautiful. I got this from a fellow local plant friend, Mike, in January. And it has a new leaf emerging right now. And it has 2 more leaves coming behind it. So that's pretty darn exciting. This is the second Peltagerum. And then this Stephania erecta, which Deneen gave me for Christmas last year. Not long after she gave it to me, it started sprouting and it got these little buds, but then they all fell off and no leaves ever developed. And it was outside for the summer. It started sprouting and I can't get it to focus, but there are a few leaves coming in now. How exciting is that? And then this is another favorite. This is a crystal red crossed with a crystal hope. And Biggie watching over it. Here's what's left outside. Christmas cactus, which definitely got too much water in the rains and needs a repot and some serious help before it comes inside. This is unbelievable. Noor, the Saloom. I mean, I can't even get the whole thing in the frame. I think she had 7, 8, 9 leaves come in this summer. And there's another one on the way and 2 more here. I mean, it's been insane. And I love it. It makes me incredibly happy. Another Micans, Podomicon cuttings. Another Camposportoenum. And then the hanging plants, regular heartleaf philodendron and 2 Brazil. That one I started from cuttings. That one I had. So those got, what is it called? Bonide granules today. And once they have a day in the sun, I'll bring them inside and hang them up. She got a little bit too much water too over the past several days. The Xanadu, this one is from Anna. All my best plants are from Anna. Well, that's not true. I mean, all of my plants from Anna are great, but everyone I've gotten plants from locally, they're all wonderful. I'm very fortunate to have met some really great people. So this is the only plant that didn't do well while we were away. It was just too hot for it. The maidenhair fern, it was totally fried, but it's starting to come back, and that's the story of her life because I fried her last summer with insecticidal soap spray. And she came back to a glorious plant this summer. And hopefully she'll do it again next year. Fiddle leaf fig, I just lost interest in her. She's been out here all summer under a bush. I don't know what I'm going to do with her for the winter. Steve's corn plant, y'all know how I feel about that. A picture plant that I'm going to give away, I think. I don't know. It's got a few pups in there. No pictures currently. I don't know. We'll see what I do with that. Golem jade, that'll come inside. Variegated jade will come inside. A pot of cuttings from each of those plants that I took a few months ago that are rooted. I don't know what I'll do with those. And then Jacqueline got me a Fittonia and a Hoya. So they've both been sprayed and they're out here for a little while, sort of in a quarantine. And then, yeah, again, can't think of the name of it. So that's about it. I'm really happy with the progress everything made over the summer. I no longer feel like I have imposter syndrome. I'm far from an expert, but I do feel confident and comfortable with my skills. And yeah, it's been a big, long learning experience, and I've enjoyed almost all of it, except, you know, the pest scares. Those are no fun. But that's it. I'll come back in a while and do a prop box video.